putting up the booth here.
Come on in.
Hey everybody.
Hey everybody, here we are at IWF. We're doing a shaper session on the road.
Yep.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Russ. And we're in Atlanta and we're having a great time.
I got you good. We got 2 new products that we just launched yesterday. We want to show them off to you. This is Shaper Plate, the universal template for Origin. And as soon as we've gone through this, we're going to show you Shaper Studio, simplified digital design tool for craftspeople like you. So let's zoom on in here. As you know with Origin, when it recognizes that tape that it's seen before, it pulls up your workspaces. So if you go to scan here, workspaces, we can see all these workspaces that we've created. What's cool about this is a universal digital template. Once you install that hardware object once, you set up Plate once, that template is in there and ready for you to use in perpetuity. You can store infinite templates in here. If you've got a drawer of hinge templates or a wall full of templates in your shop, you might identify with this and say, man, that looks way more simple to have these templates ready to go whenever I need them.
I just want to make sure everyone heard that. You scan this thing and grid it once. And that's it.
Absolutely magic.
It's awesome.
We're gonna give you guys the overview of everything today. We're gonna do plenty of sessions deep diving into these topics. So if you've got questions on how to set this up, how exactly do we do the nitty gritty details, stay tuned because we've got a lot of educational info coming at you. But I just want to show you today how simple and awesome this is to use. So at the show here, we've been doing a couple of demos. We've got the Sauce 101 hinge. We've got our plate template, which we based all these hinge and hardware templates off of. We've got corner rounding over here. We've got a bow tie that we're going to inlay. We've got System 32. We can do it all with this template. So let's zoom in on this sauce hinge. This is the standard hardware catalog file that you are familiar with. You've got those cut annotations. That green line is the line of your digital template. And now let's see how we align this to our workpiece. We're returning to that traditional woodworking method of marking out and laying out. All I did here was laid out this pencil mark, tape measure and pencil. I bring plate over, deploy that fence, line that up, retract the fence, and you're ready to cut. We've got a non-slip pad under here. So for this hinge install, I'm not even going to use clamps. For some trickier, more high-risk template use, you might want to use those clamps. Let's actually bust those out. Jake, can you open up the mini sustainer?
Absolutely.
Mini sustainer is included with shaper plate, and we've got those clamps, a Sys 32 pin, and some leveling feet. But basically, that's all the setup there is. We're ready to go. We're going to cut one sauce hinge. We're going to move this. We're going to cut another. Show how easy it is to just set this up and get it going. Of course, you still always want to Z-touch. So we're going to give it a quick Z-touch off of the top surface of our material. That's zeroing the end of the router bit against your workpiece. And now based on our annotations here, we're going to go 0.22 inches deep on this wider mortise, and then we're going to go 0.46 inches deep on this inner mortise. So let's get it going.
Here at trade shows, we have a handful of go-to demos, and the Sauce 101 hinge is one that we just cut all day long because it's such a great two cut depths, 2 passes, and you're done, and it really communicates just how fast and easy it can be to install hardware.
I could not hear a thing you were saying, Jake.
That's okay, it wasn't for you, it's for the people.
Oh, somebody was cutting hinges on the other side of this too. That's funny. All right, let's get that hinge over here and pop it in. And you can see we've got that awesome line on line fit, squeaky fit as we call it.
Nice and tight.
And a perfect flush installation. Now let's see if I can pull this thing out.
Good luck.
This is going to be the tricky part of this whole demo, honestly. There we go. While we're at it, So now, let's say we want to install another hinge. We just make our mark, move that over, cut another one, and it's as simple as that. I'm not actually going to mark it, Noah. Make my mark? Everybody's yelling at me, make my mark. It's all about the pencil. All right, so let's get this out of the way. We're going to make a very precise measurement here. All right, we want that hinge to be exactly 5.5 inches from the edge. Make your mark. Take plate, deploy fence, line it up. There we go. Retract fence. And everybody who's installed a sauce hinge knows how fiddly that installation is if you don't get that spacing absolutely perfect. I feel like I might be a little bit close to that one, but we'll see how it goes. All right, we're gonna do 0.22 again. Turn that on and let it rip.
I almost walked away and then I forgot we were connected by a cord.
Oh yeah, we got a little bit of overlap there.
That's all right.
That's on me. But you can see, again, perfect fit. All we did was place plate in position. All of that information was already stored, preset. Could not be easier to install a bunch of these hinges, and could not be easier to switch between applications. So, we did a hinge install. What else do we got, Jake? Show me one more application.
So, the repeatability of both the fence and the flags is kind of the bread and butter of plate. Being able to just throw it down, line it up directly to your piece, that's all well and good.
Wait, what are the flags?
The flags.
The flags?
The flags?
I didn't tell them about the flags. That's probably my fault.
Oh, we got excited. Okay, well.
Okay, let's show them the flags. Let's show them a corner round.
So when we want to actually find the exact square of the corner of a board, let's say we want to round over the corner of our tabletop, we're going to deploy the flags here and here.
Oh man, click that again.
Oh, it's so satisfying. Yeah. Everyone around the office has just been clicking plates for the past however long.
Don't want to say how long we've been working on this.
Yes. All right, so the process is pressing firmly up against there and firmly up against there. You can see we're lined up, and now we have two vertices of direct connection. Retract that, and it's going to allow us to get a nice corner round. This is an opportunity where we would definitely want to use those clamps because we're hanging off of our piece so much, and we might get a little bit of a tip. But with the clamps,
let's show that. I'm going to pop this
place
in here. Quick, easy clamp. We designed these clamps specifically with this low profile head so that you can easily slide the router right over it. And the thin profile of this plate allows you to use as much of origin's depth as possible. So it really maximizes that vertical distance. But now you can see with that clamp installed, this is absolutely rock solid. And this is a corner that I just did about 15 minutes ago, something like that.
It's great.
Super easy. Then all you would do, again, there's 4 corners in your average table. Jake, I know you were working on the table with 3 corners there for a little while. But on an average table, you just pick that up, move it to your next corner, and you're ready to round again.
Okay, now let's say we don't have any corners. We're at the end of a board or we're in the middle of a floor, and we just want to line something up to a mark that we made. We have the drop-down reticle. That's right, it's called the reticle. This is your 0, point, smack dab there in the middle. So this is going to allow us to line something up. In this case, I'm going to pretend like we have a crack in this piece of MDF. And I'm going to do it slightly askance. Line that up on my center point. Push that away. And now I'm going to throw a butterfly right over that crack.
All right.
Boom.
So like we did before, Origin recognizes that we're looking at those workspaces. The difference here is we're just going to scroll down till we see that bow tie. and it pulls it right up exactly where we left it.
Bingo. Let's start it off with a pocket. And just go to a 1/4 inch. All right, 2 passes. Let's see how this comes out.
That was some pretty fast and loose pocketing there, buddy. I like that.
We live.
Get after it.
All right, and there we go. Bam.
Nice.
That's another demo that we're doing a lot here at IWF. Because the fitment, it's all about that fit. When you hand a bow tie to someone and they feel that fit for the first time, it's a real aha moment. And that's perfect.
That's solid. All right, now we got one more thing with respect to plate that we haven't shown you yet, and that's these accessory rails. So let's take a walk. We're gonna go over here, check out this door. Jake and I are gonna try not to trip over each other.
So down the left and right side of plate, there's alternating holes of a solid 5mm and a threaded 5mm hole.
Yeah, so we knew that you guys are gonna get as much use as possible out of these locating features that we built in here, but we know also that there's some things that we just simply can't include. For example, a 90-degree fixture for mortising inside a door. Another example that we've been working on is, we can use this fence to align to a straight edge on a cabinet, but what if we want to align to a curved edge on a circular tabletop, for example?
Yep.
You could easily create your own circular template fence with origin, bolt it onto these rails, and with those locating pins, that fence, that circular fence that you've made, or this 90-degree fence that we've made, is going to be in exactly the same place every time, just like the locating features that we've built in. So it makes it really easy for you to take this and make it adaptable, modular for all of your different projects. All right, should we move on to studio?
That's plate.
That's plate.
Again, we'll go more into detail about plate in the coming sessions. It's a new product. We're going to dive into it.
Super deep detail.
And have projects surrounding it. It's really exciting. But let's move
show off
on.
studio. All right, back over here to the demo.
Rotate with the cord. There we go.
All right. Yeah, let's get this out of the way.
Okay, Shaper Studio. We are working on iPads. You can access Studio through iPad, laptop, phone. It's an entirely web-based design software.
Now, if you've used Shaper Labs, this might look familiar to you, huh, Jake?
Exactly. Shaper Labs was the experimental version that we've been working on.
This is, we'll call this Shaper Labs Plus. So we've got 2 versions of Shaper Studio. Shaper Studio Lite, which has much of the same functionality as Labs and is going to remain free for all you avid Labs users out there. We've also built in a bunch more additional functionality, and that's going to come at a small charge, but we've made it accessible for you. It's approximately the cost of a Netflix subscription, probably even less.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a little less.
And it's annual.
And it's annual, right. So similar to Labs, if we look at this design screen, we got kind of the same features here. Find Art. We've got an expanded Find Art catalog now. I think it's 3 million images that you can search for.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's 3 million. So if you've got a keyword that you want to search for, you can find literally anything. And what were you searching for earlier today, Jake? Trees?
Tree, yeah.
Tree is a great demo at the woodworking show. So we'll just scroll through here, find a tree that we like. I kind of like this one. It's got that nice organic border. That's dropped onto the screen. And we're just gonna leave it there. We can scale everything when we're done.
Yeah.
This is coming in at about 1 inch, but we can scale everything together as we go after we've built it. All right, what are we gonna add next?
Well, we want to make some sort of a logo, so let's give it a border, whether it be a rounded square, perhaps.
Okay, let's give it a rounded square.
And in fact, let's do something actually that's not on Origin itself. Let's do a pentagon.
Okay, perfect. So we've got a pentagon here. This is just a polygon. You can change the number of sides, but we're gonna stick with a pentagon for now. I wanna scale this up. Let's go with 2 inches and see what that looks like. Pretty good. What do you say?
That?
All right, so we'll leave that. And we are just gonna drag this down. We've got snapping on, so you see that red line come up. That's our two shapes snapping vertically together. All right, and last but not least, text. What should we say?
I don't know.
IWF.
Yeah.
We're here, right? IWF. Perfect. We've got that text. I'm gonna drag that down. That's gonna align with everything. We can make that a little bigger. We could also change the fonts.
Definitely.
We've got a much expanded font catalog here in Shaper Studio. Let's find a good woody one. I like this. Yeah, there you go. That's bold. And we'll make that a little bit wider. Let's make that 0.5 inches wide in this scale. Nice, nice and bold. And then we can select all. Now, how wide do we want this whole thing to be? Let's say 5 inches or so?
Yeah, I think it is 5.
Okay, perfect. We'll make that 5 inches, hit enter, whole thing scales. We can zoom out a little bit, and there you go. That's a logo. Now, this is where the part where we start to deviate from labs and get into some of the cool new features. In Shaper Studio, you can plan your cuts. We were in design mode over here. We're gonna drop into plan. So I can select individual cuts here and turn them from outside cuts to inside cuts to pocketing cuts, all those types of cuts that we know and love with Origin. So I'm gonna select this tree, turn that into a pocket cut. I'm gonna select the letter I, gonna turn that into a pocket cut. Same with the letters W and F. Now for this border here, I'm gonna turn that into, let's say, an online cut. And if we take that, here's the magic. We go into review mode. Oh boy, this is the reason why you plan in advance.
Yeah.
Our cutter is too big to fit in that W. So we're gonna change that bit diameter. Let's say an 1/8, this is pretty small. So let's say a 1/16. This is a nice like inlay size here. Let's say a 1/16 of an inch, or what's that, 0.062. Perfect. So we'll do that for the W. We'll do that for the F. 0.062 as well. And the reason this is really helpful is because this way you're not going to be surprised when you get to Origin and you think, man, why do my pockets look funny? That still catches me up sometimes. All right, now we switch back over to review. Let's see what that looks like. And now that's what I'm looking for. This is exactly what this is going to look like when I send this over to Origin and engrave it or inlay it in a piece of wood. Speaking of sending over to Origin, this has all been syncing automatically as we go. So let's get Origin over here on a tape field so it has something to look at least. And if we go into design mode, import. We gotta take it back a couple of steps to the main page. We're still in hardware here. It's Untitled 13. I should have given it a name.
Bingo.
Bingo. So there's our IWF logo right there.
Didn't have to hit save or anything.
Didn't have to hit save. We could drop that right onto the center template of plate, override the bow tie, for example. Really the right thing to do here would be to make a new plate template so that you have this IWF engraving saved under its own template, and then you can come back to it anytime. Super simple.
Yep.
Let's see. Not just Origin, right?
Right.
Important to talk about.
Right.
We can save SVGs that are usable for Cricuts, laser cutters, Glowforge.
Any type of digital cutting that accepts an SVG,
Yep.
you can use Studio.
Speaking of files, you can also import DXFs and convert them to SVGs. So that's something we've been hearing about a lot from you guys.
Yeah.
SolidWorks users, for example, you can only export DXFs from SolidWorks. You can still drop those into Shaper Studio, convert them to SVG, send them to Origin, you're ready to cut. What else we got, Jake? Did we miss anything?
That's it, I think. Again,
We're
we're gonna go into a lot more detail in these things in the future. We're gonna have projects surrounding them, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, all right. Thanks y'all for tuning in. This has been a short one, but we'll circle back with you in a couple weeks. We're gonna do deep dives on all of these products. Look forward to seeing you there.
All
Thanks.
right.